and the needles climb. I stole an F-16. Wait till 20, it will take its time. I stole an F-16.
What's going on, everybody? I'm live. I'm alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and Emmys are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. It's not a beautiful day, a wonderful day. The AMERISRAELI World War Epstein that we've been talking about for the past week is finally here. It's happening. America and Israel last night struck the nation state of Iran with 93 million population. America and Israel have officially launched an attack on Iran. World War E. World War Epstein is here. America and Israel are functionally, and I think it's pretty understandable for the average person with a heart and conscience and a soul to see this. Like, from the perspective of anyone that's living in the periphery, America and Israel are basically the great Satan. Look, I don't know where we go from here, okay? I think it's virtually impossible for people not to look at the situation and wake the fuck up to the reality that this is completely untenable, completely unacceptable. Maybe I'm a little too invested in this stuff. Maybe I'm a little too knowledgeable on this stuff as well. And I know what the real reasons are as to why we're doing it, and the average person doesn't. And the average person's perspective when I have a conversation with them is like, does this mean Iran has a nuke? Is Iran going to nuke us? Is Iran going to bomb us? It's important for you to go out and talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family, talk to your loved ones, and explain to them carefully exactly why this is happening. It has nothing to do with like security concerns. It has nothing to do with the Iranian population and its liberation. And the American government isn't even doing a decent enough job at presenting it as such, like lying. They're not even lying. They're not even offering us the dignity to lie to our fucking faces. They're not even doing that. They're just straight up saying, we're going to war. Maybe we're going to liberate the Iranian people. Who gives a shit? Whatever, you know, who cares? Shut the fuck up. It's for oil. It's for the military industrial complex. It's so that America and America broadly can control this entire region and have no sovereignty whatsoever in this region. Because sovereignty in this region actually stops Israel from developing the greater Israeli project, taking over territory in Lebanon, taking over sovereign soil in Syria, taking over maybe even pieces of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. That is the ambition for Israel separately. And the ambition for America is to let Israel do whatever the fuck it wants in the region because they think this still aligns with their interests. And whoever dies in the process dies. It doesn't matter. Americans who die in the process, sorry, you died for the almighty dollar. You died for the petrodollar. You died for dollar hegemony. There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe we'll offer you a little medal at the end of that journey, you know, so your family can fucking cry and look at the medal and think, oh, you died you died a dignified death. When you go out there, many people in this community and elsewhere in the United States of America have joined the armed forces because they just simply want upward social mobility. They don't get it any other way. They have to sell their soul to the fucking Pentagon. They have to sell their soul to the United States Department of Defense because they think, oh, I'll just go there. I'll do one tour. It'll be fine. I'll come out of that. I'll get a fucking comms degree from my local university, my state university, and then I'll enter the same fucking dog shit job market that everyone else is suffering in. With the hopes that I can have a job, with the hopes that I can maybe have a roof over my head and some upward social mobility. The best case scenario in this situation is you go out there, you get like maybe a little bit of PTSD, you come back and you actually have a job until AI takes it away from you. Now you have to live with a lifetime of crippling mental illness, crippling PTSD. But just know, when you're going out there and you're putting your body on the line, you're doing it for the pedophilic cabal of elite billionaires that control every facet of society so they can make super profits over and over again. So they can extract the materials, they can extract the rare earth minerals, they can extract the natural resources, oil, right? If you want to simplify it, and they can make the money. And worst case scenario, they'll tell you your injuries are not service related. There's that too. And some believe the liberty and justice narratives. Some do. I'm sure if you're a veteran, you've met them, you've encountered them, maybe you believe them at some point. Maybe you were like, no, we're fighting for free speech, brother. How many doors do you have to knock down in Kabul before you realize, like, maybe there wasn't really a free speech component here? You know what I mean? Sitting inside of a fucking forward operating base in Korengal Valley as you hear pot shots from afar, IEDs exploding, friends of yours getting their dicks blown off because the American military didn't put sufficient armor underneath the fucking Humvees. They didn't think that roadside bombs would actually be a significant threat. You see your buddies get their legs blown off inside of a Humvee. Someone made money there. Not you. Someone else made money. A contractor made money. Now your dick's blown off. Now your leg's blown off. You come back, you're like, what am I supposed to do? My life is fucked. Why did you do it? Did you do it to defend freedom? Is that what it was? Whose freedom were you defending? What did ZOHRAN say? Oh, God. Today's military strikes on Iran carried out by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in illegal war of aggression, bombing cities, killing civilians, opening a new theater war. Americans do not want this. They do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. They want relief from the affordability crisis. They want peace. I'm focused on making sure every New Yorker is safe. I've been in contact with our police commissioner, emergency management officials. We are taking proactive steps, including increasing coordination across agencies and enhancing patrols of sensitive locations out of an abundance of caution. Additionally, I want to speak to Iranian New Yorkers. You are part of the fabric of the city. You are our neighbors, small business owners, students, artists, workers, and community leaders. You will be safe here. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Thank God. I thought he was gonna. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Okay, Jesus Christ. Imagine he was like, hey, now is not the time. Guys, I want to keep Israel in my heart. As Israel and America is blowing up little school children in Iran, I just want to say, please don't say anything that might offend the sensibilities of those who are actually championing this death and destruction campaign at the best of Israel and the Epstein pedophilic cabal. That would be very unkind of you. And perhaps the only thing that we should care about, okay? AOC statements. The American people are once again dragged into a war they did not want by a president who does not care about the long-term consequences of his actions. This war is unlawful, it is unnecessary, and it will be catastrophic. Just this week, Iran and the United States were negotiating key measures that could have staved off war. The president walked away from these discussions and chose war instead. President Trump flippantly acknowledged the possibility of American casualties, stating, that often happens in war. Mr. President, this was not an inevitability. This is a deliberate choice of aggression when diplomacy and security were within reach. Stop lying to the American people. Violence begets violence. We learned this lesson in Iraq. We learned this lesson in Afghanistan. We're about to learn it again in Iran. Bombs have yet to create enduring democracies in the region, and this will be no different. In moments of war, our Constitution is unambiguous. Congress authorizes war. The president does not. I will do my part to uphold our Constitution by voting yes on the Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey War Powers Resolution. Every member of Congress must join us in rejecting this aimless war. Kamala's out with a statement. Shut the fuck up. Donald Trump is dragging the United States into a war the American people do not want. Let me be clear. Let me be clear.
And pussy too.
Let me be clear. I'm opposed to a regime change war in Iran, and our troops are being put in harm's way for the sake of Trump's war of choice. This is a dangerous and unnecessary gamble with American lives that also jeopardizes the stability in the region.
And pussy too.
Wait, this is recklessness dressed up as resolve. I know the threat that Iran poses. Oh, God. I was going to say, this is actually not that bad. And then she goes, I know the threat that Iran poses, and they must never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon, but this is not the way to dismantle that threat. Ay, ay, ay. Lending credence as to why this war must be waged while criticizing the way you're waging the war is the most idiotic, lackluster, totally neutered, totally feckless, liberal version of I'm doing my part. You're making concessions. I've said this over and over again. I said this during the 12-day war. I said this now. I'm saying this now. If you turn around and tell your audience that actually we have to do something about Iran while simultaneously going, but the way Trump is going about it, I don't like. You're basically saying you have an aesthetic difference. Why would anybody listen to you? Why would anybody go, okay, so we just didn't follow process? Is that the problem? Because the process is not the problem. It's always fucking form over function with these demons. It's the function that is the problem. God damn. It's so fucking frustrating to hear these guys do the same song and dance over and over again. How do I get my boyfriend to snap out of the Western war can be good mindset? I know he's smart enough to understand this, but he just won't. Is he cattle? Does he sometimes go, like when you bring him treats? Do you sometimes smack him in the ass and he just gets really excited and runs away, runs off into the distance, galloping around? Does he go, because you might not have a boyfriend. You just have livestock at that point. I'm just saying. Okay? How do I get my boyfriend to snap out of the Western war can be good mindset? Okay. Are you dating a Lockheed Martin executive? Are you dating Mr. John Boeing? Ask him these questions. Ask your boyfriend, are you Mike Huckabee? Because if you're not any of those things, it's not beneficial for you. It's not beneficial for you at all. Especially if you grew up in a rural area. He might literally be a cattle. He might literally be livestock. But if you grew up in a rural area, ask him, hey, don't you think it's fucked up that you don't have a rural hospital? Like the last time you guys had like a healthcare professional in this region was 35 years ago, and businesses have completely pulled out of this area. Everyone is poor as fuck, but it seems like there's always money in the bank to go to war overseas. Does that do anything for you? Does that do anything positive for you? Does that make you feel good? Why does that make you feel good? If it does. These are the questions you can ask your loved ones. Ask them, how does this work for your best interest? Because there's obviously a non-selfish argument to make, one that revolves around solidarity across the board, one that one that recognizes the dignity and humanity of those who are being slain by the AMERISRAELI empire. But if people can't comprehend that, there's not really any good arguments to constantly engage in this endless warfare anyway. There's not really a lot of great arguments at all, as a matter of fact. I mean, fucking even the veterans that go out there recognize it. Jamal Bowie's retweeting that you're anti-Semitic and insane on Blue Sky. Jamal Bowie's calling you anti-Semitic and insane on Blue Sky. Oh, fucking discourse machine, dude. Oh no. Oh no. A New York Times reporter is calling me anti-Semitic. A New York Times reporter who is a fucking adult, almost 40 fucking years old, and had no statements on Israel and Palestine for 2 fucking years of the genocide at the New York Times. Oh no. Someone alert the presses. Someone has to deal with the real issues. This too is anti-Semitic and also completely insane. Oh, because I said if there's any terrorism that happens on U.S. soil now, you will never be able to convince me nor millions of other Americans that it wasn't Israel and America conducting it together to rally the masses to support an insanely unpopular war. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Guys. I know that the billionaire pedophilic elite will send your sons and daughters to go die in a region that has never done anything to you whatsoever, so they can yield better returns on their initial investments year over year. And we will do it definitely for the nation state of Israel as well, okay? Because they also have like a separate ambition of being able to develop greater Israel as this like biblical fucking project. They want to do that, and they can't do that as long as Iran has ballistic missiles. So we have to kill them. We have to kill him. But guess what, guys? That could come across as anti-Semitic if you fucking literally call it out. You're not supposed to say that. And because it's deeply unpopular, because it's a deeply unpopular endeavor, because Israel is deeply unpopular, because Donald Trump is deeply unpopular, in an effort to do some sort of fucking crazy psyop on U.S. soil, if they were to do like an anthrax attack, for example, never been done before in the United States of America, never been conducted to make everyone in fucking Iowa think that like Al-Qaeda is going to come after them. Not even talking about 9/11 at this point. I'm talking about what came after, right? All the anthrax in the mail saga that universalized the fear that it wasn't just New York, the capital of finance, that was struck, but, my bumfuck shitty town next to Gary, Indiana could also be under attack by Islamic style terrorism. So I'm obviously a lot more fearful and a lot more open-minded to going and waging war in the fucking Middle East. Could never happen, has never happened, and could never happen, Certainly. Someone's got to get on board. Oh, he wrote this article, A Liberal's Case for Conservatives in History Departments. Oh, he writes for Quillette. Oh, he writes for the fucking eugenicist magazine Quillette. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, guys. I mean, listen. You can't say that like Israel is in the driving seat of American foreign policy in the MENA region. You can't say that because that might be scary. It's not the reality that is scary. It's that might hurt my feelings personally. What about my feelings? Have you considered my feelings how I feel, you're making it quite difficult for me to defend these sorts of actions. So I have to fucking turn around and tell you, you're being quite anti-Semitic, my good sir. You're being anti-Semitic, sir. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here, dumbass. Why hasn't Jamel Bowie written a single fucking thing about Gaza? I remember a couple years in when at this point it was like a year and a half in and people were like, hey, Jamel Bowie, we love your takes. Do you have nothing to say about, you know, what Israel is doing? And he was like, oh, I haven't read into it. I haven't read into, like, I don't really know too much about what Israel is doing. Yeah, 85 children have been killed by the AMERISRAELI bombing campaign in Iran. But guys, my feelings might be hurt in this process because I'm trying to defend that and you're making it hard for me. What about my feelings?